Okay, so first topic. It's a movie, upcoming movie that is coming out in on December. I think 12. I think no, December 18. Wow, almost basically in the same time as Avengers Doomsday. Ooh, if this movie was released in the theaters, I know it would basically be insects against the giants. I mean, basically, let's be real. But
Wait,
anyway, so
it's being released like right around. Wow, I didn't realize that when I looked at that.
yeah, December 18th. Yeah, it's got when it's finally this movie is gonna be released, and I'm talking none other than the one and only, unfortunately unknown, Ray Gunn. Yep, Brad Bird's new movie coming out in December, and also a movie that I like to call that nobody basically is talking about, and which at times it irritates me, but also sometimes it pisses me off because, I mean, talk about Brad Bird. I mean, the guy who gave us The Incredibles 1 and 2, who gave us The Iron Giant, who gave us one of the best Mission Impossible movies ever made, Ghost Protocol, who also gave us Tomorrowland. I don't give a shit what you guys people think about this movie. It wasn't his fault. And also now he's gonna do Incredibles 3. Well, this time as a producer and writing it as well. And of course, not to mention also like one of my favorite Pixar movies in general, and also not to mention one of my father's favorite anime movies ever, Ratatouille. Let's not forget about that. And now he's doing Ray Gun. Now, to basically give you TK and all the others who are listening, if anyone is listening, basically, Ray Gun is a sort of like a neo noir science fiction mystery thriller type of like anime movie set in a very very far future in a city called, I think, Metropia, I think. And basically the main character is right there on the screen, Ray Gunn. He's basically the last human private detective who basically got involved in a mystery with aliens and murders. That also includes the female character right here, the celebrity voiced by the one and only Scarlett Johansson, and her name I think is Venus Nova. Yeah, she's kind of like sort of like a celebrity in this movie, and for what I've heard, she's gonna play a major role in this kind of like murder mystery and everything. I mean, so that's kind of like the overall premise of the movie. But I want to talk about the history of the movie. I mean, TK, are you familiar with this movie's history?
I mean, I think you've been saying stuff about it, but I'm having trouble remembering it.
Basically, this is a movie that that Brad Bird. This is a movie that Brad Bird wanted to do. Be ready. A movie that he wanted to do for 30 years.
Whew.
Yep.
Wow.
A movie. Yep, a movie that he wanted to do for 3 decades, and each and every time, either a new project came along or either studios were not interested. Like this movie has been shelved over and over and over again for 30 years, and finally, only now, actually a few years back, he actually got a chance to finally do it. Which also, in a way, I can understand why he's not coming back as the director of Incredibles 3, because he, like, you can definitely see, especially the way how he talked about this movie, he was like really passionate about this project, And I mean, again, we don't have a trailer yet, but I do have a feeling, because for me personally, but Tomorrowland aside, there is no movie that Brad Bird disappointed me. No movie. And I know, and I have a strong feeling this movie is going to be a hit. So yeah, I mean, it took him 30 years, and again, I mean, basically the only thing we got first was basically a few like concept arts and sketches that he kind of like released step by step over the years. And of course, naturally, just like Iron Giant, he wanted to do it in 2D. But of course, as the years go by, the technology and everything, now he's gonna do it in 3D. So basically, without me going further, now basically you have the whole history, you have the premise. Basically, I want to ask you, TK, like, what kind of first what kind of like first reaction I gave you? Oh no, sorry. What is the first impression I gave you with this movie?
Well, the animation, I really like it. I don't. I'm just looking at it on the screen there. I don't know what I'd compare that to. I don't know if I mean, I don't even really think I compare that to anything like Pixar related. Like it kind of looks like, I don't know. I don't know what I'd call it. But I like it. I like that a lot. The Just looking the movie up, it has a very impressive cast.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I mean
I'm kind of this movie. To your point, it really seems to be flying under the radar, like more than it probably should, especially
e-
because of when it's coming out. Um,
exactly.
but it's only being released on Netflix though, right?
Yes, exactly. I mean,
Which also kind of surprises me because you would think with the director they have for that and the cast they have for that, you'd think that would be a theatrical movie.
exactly my point. I mean, just look at just look at the cast. Okay, you have Ray Gunn, the main character, voiced by the one and only Sam Rockwell, it's a surprising but also really good choice. And of course, Sam Rockwell is not a novice when it comes to voice acting. I mean, for example, his recent projects were the Big Bad Wolf in the Bad Guys movies, and he was amazing in that. And of course, you had Scarlett Johansson in it as well. Oh, you have Tom Waits, of all people. You have Tom Waits, the underground singer, basically, as I like to call him, voicing. I think an alien called Ira or something, which I think is Ray Gunn's like alien colleague. And then after that, of course, we talked about you have Patton Oswalt, Catherine Hunter, John Ratzenberg, the Pixar icon himself, and Jemmy Costa. Again, it's a really massive cast.
Well,
And
Ratzenberger is like Brad Bird's like Lucky Charm, I think too.
oh yeah, I mean, like, let's not forget in the Incredibles movies, he voiced the fucking Underminer, you know, and he was one of the waiters in Ratatouille as well.
I also kind of like it has like a from what I'm reading about and what I've heard, what I it has like a nor I'm not gonna pronounce it right.
Noir.
It has a noir like feel to it, which I kind of like that.
Exactly. Yes, it has a very noir appeal to it. Which kind of also gives an idea with the movies that Brad Bird actually one time mentioned that kind of like inspired him to do this movie. Like I've told you like a few minutes ago. Basically, he said that the movies that basically inspired him and also that people should watch to get ready for Ray Gun, The Big Sleep, Out of the Past, L.A. Confidential, The Big Lebowski, and Blade Runner 2049. And with those movies, out of all of them, the only one I haven't watched was The Big Sleep. But all the others I watched, and with just those four movies, I already have a picture in my head, like what this movie is going to be all about and how the movie is going to look like, and everything.
Well, look, one thing I kind of like too. Look, I was just looking at the poster for it.
Mm-hmm.
The poster almost looks like it almost looks like the cover of like a book, like an old style
Yeah,
book, which I kind of like that.
yeah, it's very retro. I honestly, here's the thing: I can bet you anything. I can bet you anything. Now, it might not be true, but I bet that this, by the way, a teaser poster for Ray Gun, and I bet this poster was done like few decades before.
Oh,
I
that wouldn't surprise me. It
I
kind of
think this. Sorry, go ahead.
it kind of looks like it.
Exactly. Like I can guarantee. Well, I wouldn't say guarantee, but I bet this poster was done, or at least the concept art of the poster was done decades ago, and then only now they're like modernized and everything, with the colors and all that. But I guarantee because the way how the character looks like, it feels like it was done when Brad Bird was planning to do it in 2D.
Well, he's wanted to do this. You said for like 30 years.
Yep.
Whew.
So
I mean,
this is definitely.
I'll give him credit for what I'll give him credit for. Just right off the bat, I got to give him credit for his determination with this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, I respect him why he didn't come back for The Incredibles 3 as the director, because you can definitely see the reason why. Because he was really focused on making this movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, but again, it bugs me. Two things that bugs me. One is that this movie is not getting a theatrical release because just with this picture alone, it feels cinematic. It feels like like a basically like a buffet for the eyes in the theater. The animation really looks stunning, and also it's a Brad Bird's movie. It breaks my heart. And also what really breaks my heart is that, like you said, this movie's under the radar. Like basically no one is talking about it. And it just simply breaks my heart because it's Brad Bird.
well, it's not getting. Yeah, I mean, to that point, it's not getting the marketing it should.
Yeah,
I mean, it
exactly.
I mean, granted, it's a Netflix movie. I mean, they don't market those like as much as
Hmm.
theatrical, but it still should be getting more marketing than it's getting.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
And especially because with it being Netflix and it being, I mean, essentially free. I
Yeah.
mean, I think a lot of people would. I think a lot of people would watch it. I mean, I think they can make some money on it somehow. Um, I don't know.
I mean, here's the thing, and it really breaks my heart when I talk about this movie because again, it's Brad Bird, and when it comes to his movies, he never disappointed me, never. And yes, he didn't even disappoint me with Incredibles 2. Even though a lot of people think that movie is bad, for me that movie is great. But either way, I think the problem is first and foremost, it's coming out in December 18th, right at the time when you have Dune, you have Avengers Doomsday, two major titans competing against each other. So so unfortunately, again, it breaks my heart saying this, but because of those two movies, I think the focus would have been centered much more around them rather than this movie, and that's why I think, unfortunately, I don't think it would have made too much money. And also, again, the interest itself, just like unfairly, just like Masters of the Universe and Supergirl. I think I think Ray Gunn would have made some money, but again, I think it will be a very small number.
Now, one thing I will say is, depending on what happens with Avengers Doomsday,
Yeah.
uh, it could work out for this movie.
I mean, again, it could, but I
I
think
mean,
Brad Bird was trying to kind of like looking at the bigger picture, and I think there's a reason why he wanted to release on Netflix.
yeah, I think Netflix. I mean, it might be the smarter move.
Mm.
Um, but I think they need to market it though.
Yeah, yeah. Look, fair enough. It's coming out in December 18th. So and usually when it comes to Netflix movies, they usually don't release teaser trailers like until like maybe like 2 months before the release. I think so. That means that my guess is that maybe a teaser trailer. I think we might get it maybe around September or maybe October. I think we might get a teaser trailer, and then November. I think, which is basically a month before the release. Yeah, I think like September or the beginning of October. I think we will get a teaser trailer, and then in November, I think we're gonna get a official trailer for this movie because usually when I was following Netflix, that's usually how they do. You always release like the trailers like either 2 months away when it comes to teasers, and then an official trailer usually a month before.
Yeah, I'm gonna be curious to see that when they release it.
Oh, absolutely. For me, this movie when it releases on Netflix, this is gonna be a day one for me. I'm like I say, I'm a big Brad Bird fan, and I cannot wait to see what this movie is gonna be all about. But also, I will say one thing. Uh, Again, besides this picture, did you had a chance to watch other like first looks?
Not really.
Well, there are quite a few actually. I would actually suggest you to watch them. Because actually, they're like it really shows not just simply the characters, but also like the overall world of Ray Gunn. It really shows you, and it's really beautiful, especially the way how the city of Metropia is basically described. With those pictures, it's incredible. Like I can definitely see some Blade Runner inspirations in it, absolutely. But I already have a theory. The whole mystery surrounding the murder and everything. I really have a strong feeling. Again, I could be wrong, but I have a strong feeling that Scarlett Johansson's character, the woman next to Ray Gunn, I think she might be the villain.
That's possible. Just looking at that picture, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I think like here's what I think is gonna happen. I think like again, it's just a guess because again, we don't know the story, what the story is. The only thing we know is it's involved with some like a mystery and a murder, or basically a murder mystery. So that's the only thing we know, and then also that Scarlett Johansson's character is involved as well. That's the only thing we know. But it wouldn't surprise me, especially with the noir type, which you can see even from the picture. It wouldn't surprise me if she was like the villain. It wouldn't surprise me. Like it's very typical, especially in those kind of movies, where basically like the antagonist, and when the antagonist is a woman and the hero is a man, usually like they will kind of like grow together, emotionally and everything, and then all of a sudden they had to fight each other because they find out they're enemies, basically.
Yeah, I could really see that.
But again, with Brad Bird, I mean, he could easily go the other way around. So before we go to the next subject, I just want to ask you, like, what's your first impression just on the animation alone?
I really like the animation. I think it's really cool. I think it's kind of unique. Um, I'm gonna be curious to actually see like a first look and like a trailer for it, just to see like how it looks. But just looking at the graphic there, it really kind of catches my eye.
Good, good. And the second question I have for you: what's your reaction on the cast?
The cast, I'm really surprised that like it has such a they have so many A-listers in it.
The one thing that surprises me is that how they kept all of this quiet for so long.
Yeah,
Because Brad Bird did mention one time, I think in a comment or an interview, that they did the recording they completed like, I think like a few months ago, I think, or something like that, or maybe even way more than that. And again, I'm still shocked that he kept all that a secret. I mean, like I mean, this is a job well done.
yeah.
Mm, yeah. So basically, let's not forget another another thing I forgot to mention. You know who's gonna be the composer?
Oh yeah, I did look at it. Yes, Michael.
Giacchino.
Yes.
I mean, it's so typical because this guy worked with every Brad Bird movie except the Iron Giant. And not simply with that, he worked with like a number of other like Pixar movies. He worked on the MCU movies. Like for example, the recent soundtrack he did was Spider-Man: Brand New Day, which we're going to talk
Yes.
about a little bit later on. Like this guy has such a history when it comes to soundtracks. And I really cannot wait to see what he's going to prepare for us for this movie. And I love that he's commenting during Comic-Con that. He didn't want to make Ray Gunn sound like the Incredibles. Like he really wants to make this movie sound differently. And even Brad Bird said that when it comes to the animation.
Yeah, I'm interested to hear what sound he has for it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, yeah. But like I said, we don't know too much about the story. Like I said, there were only a few like first looks. We got the cast reveal and everything. But overall, does this movie, you know, excite you to see or something?
Yeah.
Good, 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 good. Okay. And with that being said, guys, question is for you. Basically, what do you think of Ray Gunn? Ray Gunn. Have you heard of this movie before? What do you think of the story, the overall backstory, the cast reveal? Are you excited to see it? Basically, all the questions, all the thoughts that you have about this movie, just put it in the comment section down below and share with us your wisdom.